What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Hold My Nuts Podcast, where we talk about everything semen retention, no fap. You're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptops, and your desktops, and you're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture, man. You know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way with helping out the channel. Welcome to Hold My Nuts Podcast. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man. And you already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, because it does go a long way with helping out the channel, man. Listen, if this is your first time, welcome to Hold My Nuts Podcast. We talk about everything semen retention and no fap. If you stumbled across this channel, it's no accident. I already know why you're here. You're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptops, your desktops. You're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture. You're in the right place. If you already been rocking with your boy, man, you already know the love is real. So without further ado, man, let's get into the video today. Guys, when we're dealing with women, when we're dealing with the opposite sex, when you're dealing with women, attention is the ultimate currency. Attention is the ultimate currency. You have to understand that. This is basic. This is one-on-one. Attention is the ultimate currency, guys. It's not all your other external things, though those things do, play a factor. But your attention that you give to women is what feeds the beast. It's what feeds the beast. Everyone in this world, every company, every organization, every government entity, everyone in this world is fighting for your attention. Attention is what people crave. They want attention. Women want attention because that attention brings validation. As a man, if you want to increase your stock, you have to control who you give your attention to, what you give your attention to, right? If you give all of your attention to women, give all of your attention to a woman, right? You're going to over-validate, and that woman is going to lose interest in you, right? Attention is something that you must reserve for yourself. And if somebody is to get your attention, if something is to get your attention, it must be a worthy cause. It must be a worthy cause. Right. And that goes for any aspect of your life. Whatever you are giving your attention to, make sure it's a worthy call. Make sure it's worthy of your attention. Now, this comes back to self-development. How do you view yourself? Right? How do you view yourself? Because how you view yourself has a big role to play in who you give your attention to, what you give your attention to. Right? If you respect yourself, if you love yourself, if you hold yourself in high regard, then it's going to be harder for things to get your attention. Right? You also have to have a moral compass. You have to be able to discern between good and evil and decide what is worthy of your attention based off of the principles that you live by, the principles that you're willing to die by. Attention is the ultimate currency. Without attention, nothing gets done. Without attention, companies can't survive. Without attention, women will self-destruct. Without attention, no one wins. Attention is what everyone is seeking. Social media, it's all about attention. But you have the power to control who and what you give your attention to. Will you give your attention to porn? Will you give your attention to a plethora of different women just for the sake of validating them? Because you validate them and you don't get nothing in return. You don't get anything in return, but you validate them. How precious is your attention that you just give it away as freely as you give away your seed? Not only should you be retaining your seed, you should be retaining your attention. We might have to start a whole new subcategory called attention retaining. I'd be really surprised if that actually popped off. I really would. But you never know. But you need to retain your attention. Don't give your attention to these women. Don't give your attention to porn. Don't give your attention to things that will not give you an equal value for exchange. Don't do it, man. If you give these women all of your attention, bro, you're basically just giving yourself away. Because your attention costs. There's a price for your attention, right? Your attention is valuable. If you stop paying attention to something or someone, the power that they have goes down. The more attention you feed any person or anything, that thing gets more and more powerful. It has more and more control over your mind because you're giving it attention. You are feeding the beast. A lot of you guys are simping because your attention is just being given away for free. You're prostituting yourself by just freely giving away your attention. Your attention and your focus should first be garnered around God and yourself and your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, what it is that you're doing, your purpose in life. What is that? That's where your attention should be. Your attention should be on your family, on your kids, the things that are important. When you take your precious attention, because your attention is also integrated into time. Your attention is time, and time is the most valuable commodity. Attention and time go hand in hand. They're inseparable. You can't have one without the other. Attention to these sexual things, these things that will lead you down a horrific path, that will destroy your life, that will destroy your finances, that will destroy your families. Attention is a valuable currency. When you're dealing with women, man, you're giving them your attention. You're giving them your power. The more attention you give them, the stronger they become, the weaker you become. Because they're not giving you their attention. Because they're garnering attention from you. They're garnering attention from every other male that thinks they're attractive. For every one woman you can get, a woman can get 10 dudes. That's just how it is. And the reason for that is because men are naturally aggressive. We like to go out and conquer. We're not going to sit around and wait for a woman to approach. We're going to go out. We're going to try to get as many women as we can. That's what society, that's what society paints, right? That's just how it is. But by nature, as a man, that's what we are. We go out, we hunt. And if we like something, we see something, we're going to go out and get it. So that's the reason why women can sit back and have way more options than a good looking dude. An average woman can have way more options for sex than an actually really good looking man because of the way men and women are built. Men are built to be aggressive. The testosterone in us is what drives us to go and conquer and do things. So that's how you know that your attention is valuable. You get to decide where your attention goes. And where your attention goes is going to be an indication of where your life is going. Where your attention goes is an indication of where your life is going. If you're focusing your attention on things that mean nothing, that's where your life is going. If you're focusing your attention on harlots, that's where your life is going. The Bible says they are going to lead you into the depths of hell. If you are focusing your attention on negative energy, negative women, always coming at you, always degrading you, always trying to emancipate you. If you are putting your attention and giving your valuable time to these things, your life is going to be brittle with thorns and thistles. You need to keep your mind on God. Keep your mind on yourself. Keep your mind on expanding yourself. Keep your mind on progressing. Keep your mind on all of these things, because the more attention you give to a woman unnecessarily, the less of a man you're becoming, the less masculine you're becoming. It proves that you have no purpose. You have no goals. You have no drive. It proves that God is not the center of your universe, but this woman or these women or your sexual appetite or porn or whatever it is the center of your universe. What you focus your attention on, that is your God. That is your idol. That is the center of your world, the center of your universe. Whatever you focus your attention on, that is what you worship. That is what you bow down to. That is what you succumb to. And everything that comes to you as a result of whatever it is you're focusing on, you deserve it. Because you are giving your attention that you own to these things. Attention, guys, is the ultimate currency with women and with everything else in life. If you ever notice, we have these times in our lives where we might have a problem or issue, and we might decide, because we're fed up, you know what, man, I'm just not even going to pay this no more attention. As the days go by, you see the power that thing had as a result of your attention. The power of it starts to go down. The voice of it in the back of your head starts to get quieter and quieter and quieter, because you are not giving attention to it. Now the thing that you was giving attention to, now it is actively seeking your attention aggressively, because it wants your attention, right? It wants your attention because you took it away. It feeds off of your attention. Instagram feeds off of the attention of men. If we didn't give our validation and our attention to these Instagram models and things of that nature, and we said we wanted this rather than that, it would change. If we wanted more modest women on Instagram, and that's what would garner a like on Instagram, then women would be more modest. But obviously, based off of statistics, based off of what we see currently, this is not what men want. Men want these women to be half dressed, half naked, because they want to lust after them. That's the lust driving them. And women have to understand something too. Men are attracted to that from a visual perspective, Instagram, TikTok, but that's not the type of woman they really want. They don't want their woman to be out there like that. Right. So that's just to feed the lust, to feed the beast. Right. That's just so these guys can extract their seed, because they don't care about their seed. They don't care about the power that it provides. They don't care about the seed, so they discard it. Keyboards, laptops, desktops, you know the drill. TV screens, flat screens, plasma screens, splattering everywhere, anywhere. Drop tops, stove tops, black tops, don't matter. That's what happens when you're driven by lust. Your attention goes everywhere except for where it's supposed to go. Guys, learn to control what you give your attention to. Don't give your attention away for free. Make sure it's a worthy cause. Make sure it's worthy of your attention. Notice what I'm saying. Make sure that it's worthy of your attention. That means you're the center of this. If it's not worthy of your attention, don't give your attention to it. Don't fall into these traps. Don't give your attention to women unnecessarily. Key word, unnecessarily. Let me say this again. Key word, unnecessarily. I'm not saying go out there and completely ignore women 100%. What I'm saying is don't give your attention to them unnecessarily. That's going to cause a stumbling block or a roadblock or a hindrance in your life. That's going to cause you to be mentally frustrated, aggravated. That's going to prevent you from being able to do what it is you really need to be doing and focusing on. Your attention is valuable. Your attention is money. If you don't believe it, you wonder why advertisers pay all this money for your attention. Your attention is valuable. I'm seeking your attention right now, doing this YouTube video. But ask yourself, is it valuable? Is it valuable for me to focus my attention on this? Will I get something out of it? If so, hit the like button for your boy. Because I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you understand that what you focus your attention on, you should be getting something of equal value in exchange, because your attention is valuable. Your time is valuable. So make sure whatever you're focusing on is going to implant in you something that's going to help you, not frustrate you, not hinder you, not throw you off of your path. This is the key to being a success. This is the key to making your dreams come true. Focus your attention on the things you need to focus on. When I finish doing this video, I'm going to focus my attention on some things I need to focus on, because I need to focus on these things. I'm not focusing my attention on a woman. I'm not focusing my attention on no porn. I'm not focusing my attention on any of that. I'm cutting this camera off and I'm getting to the grind again and again and again and again. Because those other things, they never brought me what they promised. They never brought me satisfaction. They never fulfilled me. They never did any of that. The only thing they did was take my energy away, made me feel shame about the things I was doing. They took my dignity away, had me acting crazy and doing all kind of stupid and just dumb things. That's what happens when you focus your attention on these worthless things. Guys, retain not only your seed, but retain your attention. It is valuable, and you will start to see the power that you really have. People will be coming to you, asking for your attention. But they don't have to ask for attention if you just freely give it away to everybody. You just say, everybody who wants your attention, you just give your attention to it. Any problem you have, you just focus your attention all on it. No, you decide where your attention goes, and where your attention goes is going to decide where your life goes. This is Hold My Nuts podcast. I'm always here to prevent you from releasing on the keyboards, the laptops, and the desktops. I'm here to protect TV screens, plasma screens, flat screens. I'm here to protect these things, because the warranty does not protect these keyboards from the splattering, man. This is Hold My Nuts podcast, man. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like it, comment, subscribe. Let me know what's good, man. I'm going to holler at y'all. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man. And you already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, because it does go a long way with helping out the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to Hold My Nuts podcast. We talk about everything semen, retention, and no fap. If this is your first time, listen, man, I already know why you're here. You're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptops, and your desktops. You're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture, man. You in the right place. If you already been rocking with your boy, man, you already know the love is real. Guys, I'm excited about this one today. But let me let you know, the memberships are on the way. So they'll be available soon. And I will keep you updated on that. With the memberships, I'm going to be doing exclusive content not available to the general public. So you will have access to these videos that I'll talk about a variety of different subject matters. And we'll go a lot deeper into other aspects of the Bible, and just various topics, man. We'll just get into some things that we don't normally get into on the channel, just to keep the theme of the channel, what it is. So be on the lookout for that really soon. I'll probably be making a post about that in the community tab, and then also in my upcoming videos. So with that being said, let's get into this video, man. This video is how to be a high value male. I know we see a lot of videos about this with other red pill channels. They're telling you how to be a high value male, things you should do, things you shouldn't do. The number 1 tips for being a high value male, the 6 things you shouldn't do if you want to be a high value male, things that will make women disinterested in you, the 5 most critical talking points when dealing with women, and the list goes on and on and on. And we've all seen these type of videos. We've all fell victim to clicking on these type of videos in order to gain insight on how to become a high value male. But guys, today we're going to talk about how to really become a high value male. And we're going to make this conversation based off of the premise of Proverbs chapter 3. Actually, not chapter 3. I'm sorry. I want to say chapter 25. Give me a second here. Yeah, this is going to be a good one today. And it's probably going to be something that you don't expect. Here we go. Let's see here. Yeah, Proverbs 29, verse 25. It says, the fear of man proves to be a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe. Now you might say, hey, what does that have to do with being a high value male? It has everything to do with being a high value male. Let me read this verse to you again. It says, the fear of man will prove to be a snare. A snare is a trap. The fear of man will prove to be a snare, will prove to be a trap. But whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe. I wanted to take you to one more verse before we get into this content. Yeah. So this is, all right, here we go. 1 second. Boom. Basically, the verse is this. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. I want to say that's in Proverbs 1. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. What that basically means is when you fear the Lord, now you begin to understand. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, and the fear of man proves to be a snare. But those who trust in the Lord are kept safe. When it comes to semen retention, when it comes to being on this righteous path, we have to place our faith in God. We have to place our faith in Christ. We have to place our faith in the one and only Messiah, right? Lord Jesus Christ, Yeshua. We have to place our faith in him, because when we put our faith and trust in Christ, we will not bow the knee to other men. We will not bow the knee to the world system. We will not get off of the bedrock of our faith. We will not be moved by lust. We will not fall into these traps. We will not be overwhelmed with the opinions of others, because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Once we fear the Lord, basically putting our faith and trust in him, then we get the knowledge, the true wisdom that can only come from God. And once we have that knowledge, then we start to look at the world around us in a totally different light. And when you walk with that light on the inside of you, that shining light on the inside of you, you will not be able to be moved off of your purpose. And that is how you're going to become a high value male, because you're not going to be taken to and fro. You're going to have purpose. You're going to have a divine mission. You're going to know what it is as far as the gifts and the talents that God has given you. You're going to know what your influence is supposed to be, what your work is supposed to be, how you're supposed to go about and dominate in your space. You're going to understand these things. And a half-dressed woman is not going to be able to throw you off of your path, because you're going to have the fear of the Lord, which is the beginning of knowledge, the beginning of wisdom. So you're going to know from Proverbs 31, I think verse 3, where it says, do not give your strength to women or your vigor to women who destroy kings. But you can't have that understanding unless you have the fear of the Lord. You can't have that understanding unless you have the fear of the Lord. You can't have it, right? This is how you become a high value male, when you understand what your purpose is in life. High value doesn't mean going to the gym and working out every day. High value doesn't mean, getting a 6-figure paying job. High value means I have principles that I live and I die by. And I don't care what your opinion is of these principles that I hold near and dear. Once you can confidently have that type of a disposition, you are now a high value male. You're a high value male because your faith and trust is in God. So if your faith and trust is in God, and God is now giving you wisdom, you're going to know, like, listen, I see what everybody else is doing. I see what everyone else is drawn to. But I have the knowledge and the wisdom of God because he's blessed me with it. To be a high value male, you have to trust God. It says the fear of man proves to be a snare. How is that? How is the fear of man a snare? The fear of man is caring about what other people think about you. It's not having like this reckless, I don't care what anybody thinks about me. And you're just obnoxious and you're just doing things that are just ridiculous, right? It's not having this attitude where you don't care about people's feelings to the degree to where you're hurting people and you're acting out of character of a good man or a good person, right? It's not being shaken off of your principles. If you understand God's laws, rules, regulations, what it is that he requires of you, what it is that he wants you to do so you can be blessed, and you don't allow your life to be impacted by the world system. You don't allow your life to be impacted by your friends. You don't allow your life to be impacted by these women. You don't allow your life to be impacted by social media. Now you're a high value male. That's what a high value male is having principles that you live and die by. That's a high value male. Once you get the knowledge, everything else is going to start to make sense to you. Everything else is going to start to make sense to you once you get the knowledge of God, the wisdom of God, and you actually start implementing the wisdom of God. You start staying away from these thotties, these tater tots. You stop desecrating the laptops, the keyboards, the desktops. You refrain from splattering the 65-inch, 80-inch plasma screens, LED screens, TV screens. You start living a life of righteousness. And when people say you're weird because you don't watch porn and you have a different perspective on life, you don't allow that to dictate what you're going to do going forward. The fear of man proves to be a snare, but those that trust in the Lord are kept safe. If you trust in the Lord, you will be kept safe. These are facts. Trust in the Lord. Trust in God, and you will be kept safe. Psalms 27 says this: the Lord is the light of my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Should I be afraid of these women who are going to go out and do whatever they want to do, and they're not going to give me any, and they're not going to, go out on a date with me? Am I going to be afraid of them? Am I going to be afraid of these men who are out here living reckless lives sexually and doing all kind of crazy things? Am I going to allow their opinions of me to impact what I believe? No. The Bible says, Psalms 27, once again, let's get back to it. The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When my enemies assail against me to eat up my flesh, it says my adversaries, my foes, it is they who stumble and fall, not me. They're going to stumble and fall. These women are going to stumble and fall. These men out here living this reckless life, destroying homes and having affairs with women that are married, and they're the ones who are going to stumble and fall. They're the ones who are going to get HIV. They're the ones who are going to have to go to the doctor and get the pill and shot time and time again. They're the ones who are going to have the cauliflower on their pecker. They're the ones who are going to have the herpes. They're the ones who are going to die young. They're the ones who are going to get, killed by someone because he was messing with the wrong person's wife. These women, doing all of these hideous things. There's the one who's going to get pregnant, right? And that guy's never going to marry them. He's going to go back to his original family. It says that when my enemies come against me to eat up my flesh, my adversaries, my foes, it is they who stumble and fall. It says, though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Why is David saying his heart won't fear? Because he knows, he has the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding of God. He says, though war break out against me, even then will I be confident. Your confidence has to be found in Christ. This is how you become a high value male. It's not the other way around. Your confidence has to be in God. He is your salvation. David says, the Lord is the light of my salvation. Whom shall I fear? I don't care if the world is trying to make me feel as if I'm getting left out. I don't care, because I know it is they who will stumble and fall. And guess what? When they stumble and fall, we will take their spoils. When they lay waste on God's green earth, we will take their spoils. We will gather their spoils. We will step over their carcasses. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Those who fear man, the Bible says, it proves to be a snare. But those that trust in the Lord are kept safe. Guys, this is your anchor. Your anchor in this life, in any adversaries that you're facing. Your anchor is God, your faith and trust in God. You don't have to go back to living a life of sin. You don't have to go back to watching porn and being a slave. You don't have to have your mind filled with negative and sexual thoughts day in and day out. You don't have to waste your money, your time, and your strength paying women money to have access to their OnlyFans page. You don't have to, waste your energy giving it to vanity when you could be giving that to your wife. You don't have to participate in these things that are going to potentially lead you down a path of bad health and bad wealth. You don't have to. Put your faith and trust in God. Fear the Lord. That is the beginning of knowledge. That's how you become a high value male. You trust in God. He will direct your path. He will lead you down the way. That's what's going to happen. But if you fear man, if you fear what this woman thinks of you, if you fear what these women think of you, if you try to live your life to live up to the standard of women who have no concept of God whatsoever, you are indeed a loser. First class. These are just the facts. These are just the facts. You are a loser, first class loser. If you're trying to live up to expectations that godless women have for you, you're a loser. You are a loser. You're not winning. You are not a high value male. A lot of guys appear to be high value males, but deep down, they don't have that true confidence because they don't have any core values. Their whole idea of confidence is embedded in everything that's external. Their car, their money, their house, their looks, everything embedded in material, fleshly things that fade away. They have no real substance, no confidence embedded in the truth of God. You can't be a high value male. There is no high value male whose faith and trust is not in God. This is Hold My Nuts Podcast, man. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to holler at you guys in the next one. Peace. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man. And you already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, because it does go a long way with helping out the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to Hold My Nuts Podcast. We talk about everything semen retention and no fap. If you stumbled across this video, it's no accident. I know why you're here. You're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptops, and desktops. You're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture. You're in the right place. If you already been rocking with your boy, man, you already know the love is real. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Guys, red pill equals slavery. Let me say that again. Red pill equals slavery. The red pill community is big, but this is not what semen retention is about. Semen retention is not about retaining your seed so you can have this negative disposition towards women to the point to where it changes who you are as a person, right? So if you get into a bad relationship and things go south, okay, if you get played by some women, right, if some girls played you, right, it's really your fault that you got played. We have to, as men, we have to take full responsibility for not being on our A game. We have to take full responsibility for not focusing on our dreams, goals, and ambitions. We don't want to put that blame on women. We don't want to put that blame on women, because that's not what men do, right? We have to own up to the era that we had that allowed us to fall into that trap, being drawn away by your own lust, not focusing on yourself, giving all your attention to a woman, unnecessary attention. I just did a video about that. Guys, we have to stop with the whole idea of you treat a woman like crap in order to get her respect, in order to garner her love, in order to garner her affection, in order to get these certain things. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to go. When we start semen retention, we are starting semen retention to enhance and better ourselves as men. It has nothing to do with a get back, right? It's just we are attempting to change who we are internally so that the things on the outside no longer have the effects that it once did. So women no longer have the effects on us that they once did. Not that we don't like women. Not that, we're anti-women. Like, why would you want to be anti-women? You understand what I'm saying? Right? But the red pill culture is that you just go out and you just disrespect women, you discard women, you treat them like nothing. You don't put them on a pedestal. It's all of these different type of ideas rolled into one. So now you create this person who maybe you got played, maybe you got hurt, whatever the case may be. But now you're in this particular vein, this particular wave of thought that now what it actually does is it repels the good women. It repels the one girl who's going to be infatuated with you, because those women are out there. There's a woman out there who's going to love every and anything you do. She's going to respect you. She's going to grind with you. She's going to support your dreams. There are women out there like that. Every woman is not out there half naked, half dressed, living the hot girl summer. Don't let red pill culture change you, because whatever you allow to change you, that's your master still. I want you to understand something. If you get on the semen retention journey because you've had some bad experiences with women, we all have, right? And women have had bad experiences with men. That's just the way life goes. But if you get on semen retention for the purpose of building yourself up in order to discard these women because of the things that they may do to you. We're talking about new women now, right? You've allowed that person that you were last with to change who you were, to change who you are at the core. So you were a slave to that whole system before you came to semen retention. You were a slave to your lust. You were a slave to, and this is what you got to understand about the dynamic between men and women and this whole debacle we have going on in modern day. You are not necessarily a slave to women more so than you are a slave to lust. You will become a slave to a woman or a particular person if you allow the negative effects of that relationship or whatever happened to change who you are as a person. Your lust led you to this bad situation. Now this situation was really traumatizing for you. And now you're allowing that person who you were in this relationship with, this female, you're allowing her now to change the core of who you are. Before you met her, you were a nice guy. That's how you got her, right? You were a nice guy. Not that you were simping, but you were just being yourself, right? You were being a gentleman, right? You were just being a genuinely good person. But somewhere along the line, your lust started driving you and you started doing things and not acting like a man and being feminine and being worried and not being focused, not being able to handle a girlfriend or a wife, and also maintain your focus on what it is you have to do. You haven't been able to bridge the gap between those two things. And so now you've allowed this woman to change who you are. If a person can change who you are, that's your God. That's your slave master. That's who that person is for you. Never allow a woman, or anyone for that matter, to change the person you are. Unless you're going from bad to good, right? But if you're a genuinely good person, you're a kind-hearted person, you're an honorable man, you keep your word, whatever the case may be. If that's you, and then you allow this negative woman to come and turn you into a womanizer, now you're out here doing to other women what this woman has done to you. Now you're just like her, and she's your master because she's changed who you were. She changed the person that you were. You're no longer that person anymore. Guys, this red pill stuff is really toxic. It's toxic. You don't You want to be able to be yourself, be a man, stand on your principles, and get what it is you want without being some other, putting on this dark character in order to get women. It doesn't have to be like that, man. Everyone's not attracted to the same thing. Everyone doesn't want a quote unquote bad boy. Everyone doesn't want that. There's women out there. There's a lot of good women out there, man, that will love to support you, love to give you affection and do all the things that you want them to do without changing who you are. If you're going to have a successful relationship, you can't compromise who you are. You can't. Because if you compromise who you are, you've already lost. You've already lost, because at some point the real you is going to come out and there's going to be a conflict. You want to be yourself, right? And that's where the confidence comes into play. I'm confident enough in myself that I don't have to change because this person was doing X, Y, and Z. That's confidence. I don't have to change who I am and do all this different type of stuff just because this person didn't like me for whatever reason or whatever the case may be. Listen, man, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to allow that to turn me into a jerk, right? To turn me into the type of person that I wouldn't want my daughter to date, to turn me into the type of person my mother wouldn't be proud of, to turn me into the type of person I wouldn't want my sister to date, to turn me into the type of person I wouldn't want a girl's father to be like, nah, stay away from him. Don't allow these women to change you. Don't allow these women to turn you into womanizers. And because the only thing you're going to do is you're going to take these women through hurt and pain, because you're going to be playing this game that was played on you. And now you have a whole bunch of insecure people running around trying to get a leg up on each other, man. This is the cat and mouse game that we've been playing, especially since the advancement of technology. Guys, you have to be able to separate female nature, how women are, just psychologically. You have to be able to understand how women are psychologically and be able to deal with them without being a jerk, without being a womanizer, without being someone who's going to play with a female's emotions just for the sake of playing with these emotions and just living this whole life of, we don't love them hoes, right? Understand, like, that's just not what an honorable man is going to do. The Most High is not pleased with that. You got to understand that. God is not pleased with you taking women through the mud because you on this red pill type of vibe. You smashing and thrashing now because you don't got played, or you know what I mean? You sick and tired, you fed up, you done got played, whatever the case would be. Now you smashing and thrashing and tossing them to the side like it's nothing. But what's going to happen is, because you've been drawn away by your own lust and entice, guys end up falling into these traps of having babies with girls they never had any intentions of being with, catching diseases, losing their money, just putting themselves in very unfavorable situations. And all the good women out there that you could have had, but now you have all these other responsibilities and these other issues going on. Now you can't take advantage of that good woman. Now she doesn't really want to be with you because you have serious baggage. You have to really not allow your mind to become so warped because of one bad experience or multiple bad experiences. You just have to focus on yourself. Once you start working on yourself internally, you start following God, you start retaining, you're not giving your seed out no more. Now it's just about you. Now you're working on you. And as a result of you working on you, you are not going to do the same type of things that didn't lead to success in the first place, because you're going to be focused on your grind. You're going to be focused on your purpose. You're going to be focused on God. You're going to be focused on living and standing on your principles. And the woman will be attracted to that. And you'll be able to be your true, authentic self without being a womanizer, without being an abuser, right? You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You just have to be secure in yourself, right? We're not out here trying to start a campaign to diss women. You know, they got this thing going on now where they're doing a lot of man hating, right? But they're falling into the same trap, thinking every man's a bad man and this and that. It's just that both sides, men and women, have been scarred by one another, and society, social media, is giving out propaganda of how males are and how females are, and now there's a war going on between man and woman when these two energies are supposed to be in harmony. We're supposed to be in perfect harmony with the opposite sex. That's what it's supposed to be. Don't allow the red pill culture to manipulate you, because a lot of these red pill dudes, man, I'm just going to be honest with you. It's feminism. It's what it is. I ain't judging them, right? Because I've held that mind state as well. But what I'm saying is, after seeing the light and after understanding, like, man, semen retention is about me. I'm not putting no blame on a woman. She can't change me because of who she is, right? I take full responsibility for the man that I am, for the man that I want to be. I can't place that burden on a female. Like, how are you going to place who you're supposed to be and how you are? How are you going to place that burden on a female? How are you going to place that burden on a female, man? That's you giving your power away. You gave it away. Come on, bro. Let's not get confused. Understand female nature. Understand how women think and things of that nature, right? But understand it in the proper perspective, right? Like I said, it's not, reserving your attention unnecessarily. Like, we're not doing this just for the sake of doing it. We're not doing this to be manipulative. We're not doing this to get a leg up. We're just standing on our principles. We're focusing on us, and that's just how we're getting down. But we're not going to allow this woman or these women or this culture to change us. We just know that we have to get better. And how we do that is by retaining our seed, by focusing on God, by focusing on our goals, by building things, by conquering things. That's how we combat the culture in regards to males and females. Yeah, we know these women are out here doing all of this BS. We know that. We know it. But all the red pill guys, they're doing the same thing. The red pill guys are simping just as much as the simps. You say, how is that possible? It's easy. Because one, you've been changed by a particular individual to become the person you are. And two, you're on a rampage to get with as many women as you can as possible. And you're using that as a way to validate yourself, has a way to validate, to be like, yeah, see, you ain't with me, but I just knocked out 5 of them. Yeah, you ain't with me, but since we broke up, man, I done went through 10 chicks. You're using that to validate yourself. And we know that's not true validation. And you're putting other people at risk, and you're putting yourself at risk, and you're putting your future at risk, and you're putting your finances at risk. You're putting everything at risk in order to live this type of dark night, I'm a bad boy type of vibe, right? That's not confidence. That's not being a man. Being a man is, listen, man, I ain't got to be with the rah, rah, rah all the time. I don't have to be, but being a man is being confident in who I am, being confident in my principles. This is what I live by. This is what I die by. If you roll with that, then that's cool. If you don't, that's also cool, right? But this is what I'm doing. Whether you a male or you a female, if you vibing with me, this is what it is. We gonna do business, man to man. We gonna shake hands, or we not gonna do business, right? Or if you a female and you ain't vibing with what I got going on, it's okay. I understand. I ain't for everybody, right? You keep it moving. Don't allow these external things to take you off of your center. That's the key. Don't allow anything to take you off of your center. But the only way to do that, man, is to be rooted and grounded in developing yourself internally. And the biggest hindrance to being able to do that is keyboards, laptops, desktops desecrated with your seed. I keep trying to tell y'all, man, the warranty package does not cover that. Man, this is Hold My Nuts podcast. If you vibing with the content, man, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to holler at you guys in the next video. Peace. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man, and you already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, because it does go a long way with helping out the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to Hold My Nuts podcast. We talk about everything semen retention and no fap. If you stumbled across this channel, man, listen, there's no accident. I already know why you're here. You're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptops, your desktops. You're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture, man. You're in the right place. If you already been rocking with your boy, you already know the love is real. So without further ado, man, let's get into the video today. Will ignoring a woman work? Will ignoring a woman work? It's story time, guys. I want to tell you guys a story from when I was back in high school to kind of tie this all in together. And you want to watch this video to the end, because I'm going to be letting you know why this tactic works and why it doesn't work, and the importance of understanding what it is we're doing and when it comes to ignoring a woman, so that we can be doing this the right way and not the wrong way. All right. So when I was in high school, I would say around the 11th grade, I was in the 11th grade. And I was dating this girl. I was talking to this girl. We were, she was a softball player, soccer player. I was a basketball player. And, we just connected. And we were just, vibing with one another and whatnot. And I noticed maybe 3 weeks or a month into, us hanging out and chilling and whatever, she started becoming distant. And we had the same homeroom class together. So we were in the same class. And so I had to see her every single day in first period. And I really liked this girl, man. She was cool. She was pretty. She was athletic and all that. And, but she was in my first period class. But she started pulling away. And I can see that it was like she was focusing less and less on me, and I was kind of like in the background, whereas before we were on equal footing. And I was like, man, so it started to really like bring my spirits down. I was like, man, what's going on? I'm the star player, and this doesn't make any sense. It seems like she just threw me to the back burner, like I'm just not relevant anymore. You understand? So one particular day, I came home from school, and my mom, she can tell something was different with me. She was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Man." She like, "What's wrong?" And a 16-year-old, you don't really want to tell your mom, you having girl problems or whatnot. And actually, my mom is the one who actually gave me game growing up about women. She used to give me all these different tactics to do. And it's funny because a lot of these things are still true to this day. And so I tell her what was going on. I was like, listen, I'm talking to this girl. It's like she doesn't like me anymore. I don't know. She's acting funny. She's acting different. And so I'm just giving her the breakdown of what's going on. And almost before I can even finish getting it out, she tells me, she says, listen, this is what you do. You go to school tomorrow and you act like she doesn't even exist. This is what my mother told me. She said, you go to school tomorrow and you act as if she doesn't exist. And she said, I guarantee you her attitude towards you will change. So I was like, all right, it was nothing else. I mean, it was worth giving it a shot. So I went to school that next day. Now, mind you, we're in the same class. Not only are we in the same homeroom class, we actually sit at the same table. And it was getting so awkward during this time period to where I didn't even know if I should sit by her or not. You know what I'm saying? Because it was almost like I was a repellent. You feel me? So I go to school that next day. I don't try to sit next to her. I just sit down at my table and I start talking and rapping with everybody except her. And it was like, it wasn't in no, I'm just being myself and I'm talking to everyone at my table, people in my classroom, because I'm a popular guy in school. When I was in school. And so I'm just going about my day. So first period's over with, I just walk out. Don't say bye. Don't try to acknowledge her, say what's up. You know what I'm saying? Because she had already been giving me the signals that, I wasn't important at the time. So I'm just doing my regular school day like she doesn't even exist. I'm just not paying her anything. I'm following my mom's instructions to the T. So I do this for maybe a week. And then guess what happened? One of her friends reached out to me and she was like, Heather wants to know if she's wondering if you still like her or not. And I'm like, now, mind you, she put a friend up to this. She couldn't come tell me herself. She couldn't come to me, right? She had to get her friend involved to kind of figure out, get information about, what I was doing. So it was a Saturday. I got a phone call from her friend telling me, Heather wants to know if you're going to take her to the fair and all these different things, right? Because you haven't said anything. And I said, really? She was like, yeah. And so I told her to have her give me a call or whatever the case may be, because I didn't want to reach out. So I ended up getting a call that day from Heather, and I was talking to her, and she was like, yeah, I didn't know if you were going to take me to the fair, blah, blah, blah. Now, mind you, I wanted to take her to the fair. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to be around her. I wanted these things, but I just did what my mom told me to do in regards to ignoring her. Make a long story short, I ended up taking her to the fair. We ended up, getting back on the same type of mode we was on before all this other stuff started happening. And we were connecting, having a good time. And the whole situation changed just because I ignored her for about a week and just didn't pay any attention to her. I just went on about my day like she was no big deal. This was advice given to me by my mother. Now, how does my mother know this? Being that she's not a man, but she understands from being a woman of how these things work or how the psychology of a woman works in this regard. And so I employed that tactic and it worked. The crazy thing about it, though, is this. And this is why I wanted you guys to continue watching. Is because later on in life, I stumbled across another female who I was just, it was like love at first sight. She was just beautiful. And same thing happened, but I didn't employ the tactic, right? I didn't employ the tactic, and it was kind of the same type of vibe. And so I see all that to say this. When it comes to ignoring a woman, this can't be a tactic that you are using in order to get this woman to do what it is you want her to do. This actually has to be something that's a part of your makeup of who you are, because you are so focused on yourself, your goals, and what it is you're trying to do. And you have self-respect. You respect yourself, right? So if you can feel the vibes that a person's disposition towards you is changing, you automatically shift your focus to what is focusing on you, or what it is that you want to focus on. Right. So the reason when I got into that other relationship with the other female that I wasn't able to ignore her, was because at the time that was not part of my makeup. That was not part of who I was. Right. It was a tactic that worked for me at that particular moment, but it wasn't anything that stuck with me because of the person I had become. I was still the same person. Right. I was still that same person. So I had to learn how to do this. I had to learn how to develop this. And what happens is, once you start practicing semen retention, you start focusing on God, and you start having principles that you live by, principles that you die by, things that are non-negotiable, right, with other people, whether it be men or whether it be women, whether it be work, career-wise. These are principles that you stand by as a man, and you refuse to fall back on those. That's when those type of situations occur. A woman starts pulling away. It's not that you're employing a tactic. It's that this is just how you will respond by default because of the person that you have become. And that's the key. A lot of guys are ignoring women just for the sake of ignoring them in order to get something in return, as opposed to this just being a part of who you are through self-development. You want this to be a part of who you are via self-development, right? So if you're dealing with a female and she pulls away, I'm not going to employ the tactic in order to get her to respond to me. This is just what I'm doing. This is just automatic. It's almost like self-defense, right? You don't walk around trying to employ self-defense tactics on random people. You know what I mean? You don't walk around, looking how I'm gonna put this dude in the headlock, how I'm gonna do a DDT, you don't walk around doing that. Self-defense is something that has just something about who you are. When you feel threatened, you proceed to protect yourself. When you see that woman pulling away, when you see that she's acting like you're no longer it, it's okay. I'm not employing this tactic. I'm not even employing a tactic at this point. It's just who I am. I'm going to remove my attention from you. I did a video on attention the other day. I'm going to take my attention away. I'm going to focus it on those who want to be around me. And I'm going to continue to focus it on my goals, my dreams, my ambitions, the things that I'm working for. I'm not going to waste time chasing after women, chasing for validation, chasing for this woman to like me. I'm not going to waste my time. And that comes as a result of self-development. This comes with how you view yourself. How do you value yourself? I told you guys that your value comes from God. That was the whole Will Smith situation. I did a video on that. Will Smith seeking validation from Jada Pinkett. And what I was trying to express was that you have to understand that your validation only comes from God. So when you get validated by God, you don't have to go out and seek the validation of anyone. This goes for women too. You do not have to seek the validation because you understand your worth, your self-worth is founded in God, founded in Christ. So you don't have to worry about that. So it was just funny that the tactics will work in order to get the person to come back and to focus on you. But how long will it last before she loses interest again? Because this is not who you really are. You're going to go back doing the same things you did before that may have caused her to become distant or walk away from you. Things like being clingy, things like, you have to be up under her all the time. These are things that will push a woman away. Things like not being busy and focused on your own grind. It's like you don't have a life. If you don't have a life, if a woman can tell that you don't have a life, it's going to be hard for her to stay attracted to you, because you have to be focused on what it is you're doing, right? But if you're always around, if you're always in her face, in her text, on her phone, I see dudes walking around talking on the phone to girls. I just never understood that. I mean, it'd be the middle of the day. Guys have a little headpiece in and they talking to girls all day on the phone. I'm like, I don't know how they do that. I really don't. That's just never been me. When I was younger, really young, high school, I ain't had anything to do other than hoop and go to school. Then yes, I did stuff like that. But as I really became a man, I don't have time to sit and have a 30, 45-minute conversation while I'm driving in my car. I can't talk to you, right? I'm listening to some podcasts. I'm listening to my music that motivates me. Or I'm on the phone with something that's regarded or related to business, or I might be talking to my mom. That's about it. But I can't talk on the phone with you all day long, all night, just on the phone. Dudes just on the phone with females. I'm like, bro, when I was out there really living that life, that's just not something I was doing. It's a text message, two or three text messages. Boom. You meet me here, meet you there, blah, blah, blah. That's it. But these long conversations, that's just not happening. Right. And what I've noticed is, for whatever reason, women are attracted to that. The fact that you have a life. And guess what? You should have a life. And if you don't have a life, then you should get a life. You should find a life, and you should focus your attention on yourself. And those people who want to be around you, those women who want to be around you, they will be around you, and you will not have to go out and employ these tactics, because this will just be a default reaction, default response to when women pull away. You will let them pull away, and you will not chase after them. You will not try to figure out what's wrong. You will just continue to move forward. I hope this video bless you guys. If you're getting value from it, please hit the like button. Also, check out the merch, man. Check out the merch. And the link is in the description. I love you guys. This is Hold My Nuts Podcast, man. I'm going to holler at you guys in the next video. Peace.